My name's Lynn, and I've been dealing with some weird stuff lately, and I think I'm being haunted by something. It started last year when my friend came over for a sleepover, and she'd gotten these ghost hunting apps on her phone, and of course I didn't believe them, but I went along with it because it was something fun to do. After a while of messing with the apps, we got a lot of stereotypical responses that were most likely programmed into the apps. We eventually got bored and went to do something else. After a while, it was time to go to bed, and we slept in the living room. After being asleep for a bit, I woke up to my friend getting up and heading to the restroom, thinking nothing of it. I sat there, trying to go back to sleep. When she came back, we talked for a bit. Here's where it gets weird. But 5 minutes later, I heard the bathroom faucet turn on full blast. Keep in mind that I live in a small house with thin walls, so everything echoes and it can be clearly heard. So I got up, thinking I was imagining it. But when I got to the bathroom, I was indeed correct on what I had heard. Weirded out, I came back to my friend and asked if she had left the faucet on. She responded no, and said that she for sure remembered turning it off. Confused, I knew it wasn't my sister or my parents because, for one, my parents have their own bathroom connected to their room and only use that one. And second of all, I knew it wasn't my sister because I would have heard the creaking of the floorboards and the distinct walking. After a while, my friend and I just shrugged it off, thinking we could think about it more in the morning. Morning came, and my friend had woken me up. We talked about the faucet, and after a while, she told me with a nervous look on her face,
Last night, I woke up around 4 a.m. to a weird feeling, like someone else besides you had entered the room. And when I looked around, I saw a shadowy figure looking at you, standing right in front of you. I was too scared to wake you up, so I hid under my blankets, and when I checked again, it was gone, and I've been awake since then.
Terrified, I tried to debunk it any way I could, but she was adamant on what she saw. When my parents woke up, we told them what we saw, but of course they didn't believe us. Ever since then, I've heard weird things, like my sister whispering, calling my name at night, and when I check, no one's there. And I've seen orbs and figures of white or black dash around my room and into the walls. And finally, I felt my bed compress while I'm laying down on my side, like someone sat down right beside me on the edge of my bed. I want to tell my family, but I know they won't believe me, and I'm really not sure what to do. I'm scared that it will all escalate to be more violent. To be honest, I think we angered a spirit or something that night. This is what happened to me when I was learning magic in college. I found a person on an app who said he could teach me magic. Went to his house. He looked like he hadn't washed for days, but he was dressed up like a magician. As soon as I entered, he showed me a card trick with an excited expression and spread out 7 cards and told me to choose one. I chose one without thinking. He showed me the card. However, it was a card that I had never seen before, and it had pictures on it instead of numbers. When I looked closely, I saw a fist shape drawn on it. Then he suddenly hit my chest hard with his fist. There were metal knuckles in his hands. I groaned in excruciating pain, shouted at him, asking what he was doing. Then he said with a shameless expression,
You chose the fist card, so ta-da! That's why you got a fist. Now choose another card.
From that moment, a terrible fear began to envelop my body. I shouted at him to stop. Then he spread out the cards in front of me and said,
Card magic. You have to pick one to finish.
I finally picked a card and he showed it to me with a smile. The card had a bone drawn on it. He smiled and said,
Oh, you picked a good one.
I was dumbfounded. Then he went back and suddenly came with a sledgehammer. He swung this hammer at me. I quickly moved my body to avoid it and saw the hammer hit the wall with a bang. There was a huge noise. Dust rose. It felt like the house was shaking. He said,
You picked the bone card. I'm going to break your bones.
I trembled with terrible fear. This man was a psychopath. This was not magic. I tried to run away, but he kept chasing me, swinging this hammer, and I screamed at him to stop. Then he says,
Do you want another trick? Then would you like to choose another card?
Then he handed me the card again. I screamed like crazy. He yelled at me to shut up. I kept screaming, hoping somebody would hear me, but no one came. Eventually, my legs gave out and I collapsed on the floor. and he came up to me and said,
Why? It's just magic. Okay, I'll teach you magic after this card trick. Oh, and I'll show you something fun. Wait a minute.
He picked up his phone and shows me this video. I couldn't breathe. In the video, there was a man bleeding, terrible pain. This crazy magician was tying up the man's body, pulling his legs like crazy, shouting that he was going to show him a magic trick that would double his height. The man was screaming like mad. Then the magician picked up the hammer and hit the man's knee. I couldn't watch the video anymore. It was so horrible. Then the magician started laughing, having fun.
What do you think? The guy's legs really doubled up in the end. Do you want to see the result? Hurry up, watch this video.
He kept shoving his phone at me, telling me to watch the video. I ran away. Then I heard a police car siren in the distance. The magician's face turned pale as he quickly went outside and got in his car and ran away. The police arrived a little while later and chased after the magician and arrested him. He confessed to having killed 3 people, assaulted dozens of others. I haven't been able to leave my house for a while since that incident. My name is Celeste, and this happened when I was 11. To make things easier, I'm mixed. I look a little younger than I was, and I have coily black hair. At the time, I was homeschooled, and I loved biking to the beach. It was around 9:30 in the morning, and I was sitting in my living room. My mom called me on my cell phone. Hello? Hey, baby, could you sweep up the living room and dining room? Also, I need to talk to you when I get home. Okay, Mommy. I swept up the rooms and waited in the living room for my mom to come home and tell me what it was. She came in the house, told me to sit down. She had then begun to tell me my cat had escaped our house last night and had gotten hit by a car. To clarify, my cat was orange with a bit of a tuxedo pattern. And of course, I started crying. I mean, who wouldn't? My companion just got hit by a car. My mom told me his body was in the backyard, and I had asked to look, but my mom said,
No, you won't be able to get the image out of your head.
I decided to look anyways. It was gory. One of his eyes was out of its socket, his tongue sticking out. A couple of hours later, when my brother got home, I decided to bike to the beach to get my mind off the things. My bike is a real coral color, a beach cruiser. So I'm biking to the beach, and a homeless man walks by me. Got any change? He said. I responded, Sorry, my mom told me not to talk to strangers. Which she did tell me. He seemed a little pissed off at my answer. I didn't care. I just wanted to swim my thoughts away. So I spend around 2 to 3 hours at the beach, just swimming and making friends. I decided to bike back home as it was getting dark and I was starting to get hungry. As I'm biking home, I get the feeling someone was watching me, but I ignored it because I was already shaken up by the recent events and I did not need that for myself right now. So I bike home, get changed, take a shower, eat dinner, and I go to bed. I wake up in the middle of the night to get a drink of water. I get pretty thirsty at night, so I'm walking to the kitchen and I look through the window. I see someone, a human, rushing through my backyard, rummaging through some things. My 11-year-old mind thought that maybe it was just an animal, so I get my water and I head back to sleep. The next morning, we were going to bury my cat. So I go outside to make sure that the shovel is in the backyard, and I go to check on my cat's body, and it's gone. I am freaked out, panicked. Where is my cat? How did it disappear? I go into my dad's office and tell him, Dad, did you guys bury Jon Snow yet?
No? Why?
Jon Snow isn't in the box anymore.
You looked?
Well, yeah, I was just looking for the shovel. My dad looked into the backyard and saw that the body wasn't there anymore either. He said,
Maybe a hawk came and took the body for food.
Now this has me thinking. Was it an animal? Or did someone really eat roadkill?